Welcome back to another PT Pro from the Optimal Body Podcast. I'm Dr. Dom.
I'm Doc Jen.
And today we have another exciting episode because we get to dive in a little bit to the Optimal Body membership, which is where the name of the podcast comes from. And we are just super stoked to dive a little bit more into what exactly that is and how you can find your optimal body.
This is a super unique episode. Thanks for joining us. We're talking all about the optimal body today, and not just about the podcast, but actually about the membership that we created together and what that means and who it's for and what is an optimal body. Why did we name it that?
So what is the optimal body? Can we dive more into actually what it is when you open up the membership?
Yeah. So ideally, this was created because the mobility method is a place where it takes time, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of, discipline. I'm going to self-assess myself, and then based on the self-assessment, I'm going to choose what my body needs, and I'm going to choose, there's just so much more work that you have to do, which I think is really empowering to get to know your body on that deep of level. But I really realized that there was a gap in people who wanted to learn, because I also understand being so incredibly busy and overwhelmed and stressed, and that only, contributes to pain even more. So how could I provide something for people where they could just learn? Okay. You don't have to, really necessarily pick it all yourself or choose what your body needs. You just get to choose a video and learn. And that's it. What's funny is that, back in the day when I was posting on Snapchat, actually, I always write out my workouts, and I would write out my 4x4s, my 5x5s, my circuits, whatever it may be. I would write it down. Usually I would do it with my roommate, Moshgan, shout out. We did those workouts together all the time. And I would share on Snapchat just, this is what I'm doing. And I would just show the picture of the workout. But what people wanted, I would get tons of screenshots on that, first of all, because you could see the screenshots on Snapchat. And I would get so many people who were asking, but what is that movement? And what does that look like? And I didn't have the time or capacity to show my entire workout on Snapchat. Yeah. And what I realized is I could tell someone what to do, or I can show them a picture of something, but does that really help? So what I wanted to create with the optimal body was, okay, here are the workouts that I do majority of the time. I still lift, I still go to Pilates, I still go to yoga, I still do other things outside of what you see in the optimal body. It's not the one all be all. But when I'm at home and I want to feel good and I want to just get a quick effective workout in, especially during the times of 2020, it's been really great to have these sheets around. But I wanted to provide something for people that, yes, you could sweat, yes, you could get a good workout in. However, I really wanted them to actually understand what the movements were supposed to be doing for the body, not only how to perform them, but how to modify them, how to progress them, how to change them based on different muscle groups that you're trying to really focus in on, depending on your individual body. And then really show that when you modify and change and do things differently, you don't need a whole bunch of equipment to load your own body. It's not just about the HIIT, right? It's not just about the jumping and the heart and all that kind of stuff. I know HIIT workouts, that's kind of the concept, is to get a lot of movement in a little period of time. But you can get your heart rate up without having to jump as well. And the whole intention is truly that. It's education. You can get a crazy hardcore workout. You could even just that core one. You can get a crazy hard HIIT workout, and all these things. You can get great buttery mobility flows. However, the main message throughout the program is the education. And it's the whole reason that the movements are not based on GIFs or photos. And it's the whole reason that I talk a lot.
Because there's a lot of time to talk. So,
yes. But it's really, been so rewarding for me to have started this program of let me just shoot some videos, do the education, and see what happens. And then everyone started to resonate with that really well.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now how can we make this even more applicable to what people can feel in their body? And of course, over the course of a year or two, I've learned a lot as well myself as a therapist. And so now reshooting the videos, possibly giving different cues, having you in them, because that was a huge thing for me too, is that there is going to be that comparison, right? I'm the only person showing up. I am saying what the optimal body looks like. And that's not my goal. My goal isn't to say that there's one optimal body or this is what it looks like. My goal is to explore, to continue to learn. And here are what different bodies can look like moving through these different movements. And that was really the intention. And especially even in the HIIT workouts, like or the core workouts, mobility, like all of the things, we slow things down, and you don't have to have a lot of weight to really feel things. And I think that's what's surprising for people too. You know, you think HIIT workouts, Tabata workouts, and it's just like go, 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 go. But when you really focus on form and actually take a step back, things become so much harder. It's why I love Pilates, and I taught it for 6 years, is because you can slow that stuff down and people are shaking and burning and hating it. And that's when I love it the most. That's been so fun too, because then it's like, again, I don't want to make this just about me and what I know and what you should do. This is about continued exploration, continued learning. I've learned a ton from other people, whether it's through training, whether it's through, they're a yogi, or just my clients. Like, I've learned a lot because you get to explore and see different bodies. It's a continued journey, and that's really what we wanted to bring in the optimal body. Here are a group of workout type based things that you could do with little to no equipment, that you could really load up your body without needing a ton of equipment and just learn. And my intention there too is that you understand the basis of movement, so that then you can go load safely, so that then you can go, do these crazier workouts and not hurt yourself. That is my intention. As long as you're in the program, even if it's a month, do the things so that you can at least learn. I don't care if you're in it for life. It would be great because we have an awesome community. However, I want you to just be in there to learn.
Another thing that takes no equipment in a lot of sense, other than sometimes a wall or a bench or something, is the activations. And this is something really cool that is Jen's genius, I think, that she kind of created this year that we recorded and have started entering in the first year, along with the HIITs and the core workouts and the mobility. You also get this set of activations. So what are those, and where did that inspiration come from?
That came from kind of, still thinking in if I want this program to be here's your physical therapist with you who's kind of coaching you through movement, which is again what physical therapists and chiropractors should be doing. We're not just here to do ultrasounds and massages and all of that. They can play a role and they can help. I'm not going to vilify anything. However, we should be the ones who are really educating you back in your body. And so when I thought of that broad aspect, workouts and movement, I want to be there coaching you, right? Core workouts, I want you to understand what the heck the core is, because it's not the six pack. The mobility flows, I want you to understand that it's not just passive flexibility, but it's actively moving you in your body so that you feel something different long term. And then activations came into play, where it was, okay, now what is muscle activation? What does it mean to really know your body in such an in-tune way that you're firing exactly where you say you want to fire? You don't have to have a lot of load when you understand the tension within your body and you bring that in. And so that's really what I wanted in those muscle activations, is for you to have that better neurological connection, so that you're not just feeling quads burning, so that your hip flexors aren't the only things taking over, so your upper traps are not dominating movement with any upper body work, so that the core starts to work with the hamstrings and the glutes and the shoulder blades, and all these beautiful things start to come together without you having to really think about it. And they all progress on each other. So there's 5 every month that you get that are based on different points within the body. And then we take those 5 and we progress them the next month. And we take those 5 and we progress them. So we make them harder and more confusing every single time, which hopefully the more that you do it, you start to just like Dom said, connect those dots. And this is what I like to call the juice of it, right? You can do the functional HIIT workouts. There's a lot to learn. The mobility flows are what everyone wants, core is great. But these muscle activations, these are what you're really going to a physical therapist for. This is really what you learn from a chiropractor. Dom and I do them with our clients individually as well. And again, for $27 a month. If you would walk away with 5 core exercises, imagine paying $27 every single visit, because that's your copay, right? And so that's what I want people to kind of start to process. Like, you're not just getting photos. You're getting instructional, detailed videos with cueing and with seeing different bodies move and with so much education. And you get to just pick and play. No video is going to be over 30 minutes. And I love when people go in and they answer questions for me. They already know the answers that someone else should be doing. And I always say that too, because yes, there's a calendar that you can follow, but my biggest want for people is to find what works for their individual body, right? And so when people say, hey, I found that doing hits these days and then doing the core and then doing the mobility and when you find how you can implement it all into your life without it taking an overwhelming amount of time, because again, no videos over 30 minutes. The longest one is that hit, that's 30 minutes. When you find that you can easily start to implement it and just pick and plug it into your life, it's going to become a lot more seamless, and you're just going to continue to learn so much more within your body.
Right now, of course, is a special for our podcast audience.
Yeah.
We want to offer a little code so that you can get into this community, try it out. The first month, 50% off, right? With code OPTIMAL. So come join us, check it out. We know that if you do it for 30 days and if you invest in the community, you'll get more back than you ever could have imagined putting in. Thanks for joining us for another PT Pro. That was super fun, sharing a lot about the Optimal Body membership, the community, how amazing it is to learn so much from the exercises, really feel it in your body, but also feel such amazing support from that community. Don't miss out on that code OPTIMAL. Get yourself 50% off on the first month. Comment below, subscribe, all the things, and we'll catch you on the next one.